They say your past doesn't define you, but my father once gave me away as payment, like I was nothing more than unpaid labor. Not to a rich man, not to a powerful man, but to a poor worker with holes in his shoes. I remember standing there, holding a broom, when my father pointed at me and said, "Take her with you. She's useless to me anyway. Consider it payment." That was the moment I knew I had been thrown away. I followed that man out of my home with my life packed in a garbage bag, believing I was walking into something worse. What I didn't know was that the man everyone called poor was hiding a billionaire secret, and marrying him would change my life forever. My name is Felicia Grant, and this is the story of how being discarded led me straight into destiny. I was 22, living in the Ethiopian heart of East Los Angeles. My mother, the woman who taught me the grace of the Buna coffee ceremony and the strength of our ancestors, had passed away years ago. Ever since, my father, Thomas Grant, had become a ghost of a man, fueled by bitterness and cheap whiskey. When he married Teresa, I became a servant in my own home. I worked his urban farm from sunrise to sunset, my hands stained with soil, while my stepmother and her son Marcus lived in comfort. Then came David. He showed up looking for work. Worn jeans, scuffed boots, but eyes that held a strange, quiet authority. My father hired him for 3 months of back-breaking labor, clearing land, hauling stone. But when payday came, my father's pockets were always empty. One afternoon, the tension snapped. David stood in our dusty yard. "Mr. Thomas, it's been 3 months. I need my wages." My father looked at me, then back at David with a cruel, drunken glint in his eye. "You want payment? Take her with you. She's one less mouth to feed. Consider her your wages." Teresa smirked from the porch. "Good, take the girl. She's dead weight." I felt the world tilt. My father wasn't just throwing me out, he was bartering my soul. David looked at me, really looked at me, with a depth I couldn't understand. "I'll take her," David said. I packed my life into a single bag. Only little Marcus cried, slipping a small cross in my hand as I walked toward the bus stop with a stranger. I prayed in Amharic, a quiet plea my mother taught me. "God, let this man be a shelter, not a storm." We didn't go to a slum. We went to a sprawling estate in the hills. David led me past a massive white mansion to a small, pristine guest house in the back. "I'm the grounds supervisor here," David explained. "The owner, Miss Evelyn Foster, lets me live here rent-free as long as the gardens are perfect." It was the first time I had a bed of my own. No more kitchen floor, no more shouting. For weeks, David treated me with a kindness I didn't think existed. He cooked for me. He bought me books. He never laid a finger on me. "Why are you doing this?" I asked one night. "I was given to you as a debt." David took my hand. "Felicia, you aren't a debt. You're a person. I saw how you worked that farm. I saw your heart. I didn't take you to own you. I took you to save you." Soon, I met the owner, Miss Evelyn Foster. She was elegant and warm. "David tells me you're a brilliant cook, Felicia," she said. "I need someone to manage the main kitchen. Would you like a job?" I flourished. I saved every penny. I told Miss Evelyn about my dream to become a doctor, to go to UCLA and serve the community I came from. She encouraged me, treating me like the daughter she never had. But then, Anthony Foster arrived. Anthony was Evelyn's younger son, a man who dripped with old money arrogance. He cornered me in the kitchen while I was prepping lunch. "You're far too beautiful to be wasting your time with a ground supervisor like David," Anthony whispered, leaning over the counter. I can give you the world, Felicia. I'll send you to medical school in London. I'll give you a car, a life of luxury. Just leave him. I felt a chill. I have something with David that your money can't buy, Anthony. I have peace. Peace is for the poor, he sneered. Think about it. One night with me, and I can make David disappear with a single phone call to my mother. I walked away, my heart pounding. That night, I told David. I expected him to be afraid of losing his job. Instead, his eyes turned to ice. The next day, Miss Evelyn called me to her study. Felicia, my son Anthony is insistent. He says he wants you. If you choose him, the foster family will ensure you never want for anything again. We could even pay David a settlement to walk away. I felt a hot tear of anger. Miss Evelyn, I thought you were different. My father gave me away for 3 months of labor. Now you want me to give myself away for a billionaire lifestyle? I would rather live in a tent with David, a man of honor, than in this mansion with a man like Anthony. I am not for sale. I turned to leave, ready to pack my bags and return to the streets. Stop, a voice commanded. I turned. David was standing in the doorway, but he wasn't wearing his work boots. He was in a tailored suit that cost more than my father's entire farm. David? I stammered. Miss Evelyn smiled, her eyes tearing up. You passed, Felicia. You really passed. David walked to me and took my hands. Felicia, I have to confess, Anthony isn't just the owner's son. He's my brother. And Miss Evelyn, she's my mother. The room spun. What are you saying? My name is David Foster. I'm the CEO of Foster Tech. I'm a billionaire, Felicia. I've spent my life surrounded by people who only wanted my checkbook. I went undercover at your father's farm because I wanted to find something real. When I saw you, I knew, but I had to be sure you loved the man, not the money. He looked at me with raw honesty. The moment you said no to my brother today, I was going to tell you everything, even if you walked away. I couldn't let the test go on a second longer. I'm sorry for the lie, but I'm not sorry for finding you. I didn't know whether to slap him or kiss him. I settled for both. The sun is shining on my white coat. Dr. Felicia Foster. My father tried to call once he saw the news of my marriage to a billionaire mogul. He wanted investment capital. I told him I'd pay for his rehab, but he'd never see a penny of David's wealth. Some debts can't be settled with money. David is in the front row, holding our toddler, his eyes beaming with a pride that makes me feel like the richest woman on earth. We didn't just get a mansion. We built clinics. We invested in the community that raised me. Because David was right. I wasn't a payment. I was a partner. And my value was never determined by the man who threw me away, but by the woman I chose to become. Warm music swells. From being given away as payment to becoming Dr. Felicia Foster. From choosing character over cash to receiving both. That's my story. Now, I want to hear from you. What hit you harder? The father's betrayal or Felicia's refusal to sell her soul to a billionaire for an easy life? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And if this story touched you, like, share, and subscribe. Every Monday, we drop a new story of transformation. Next Monday, desperately poor programmer discovers what her reclusive tech CEO boss is hiding in his penthouse. Your past doesn't define you. Your choices do.